Hello, good evening, and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, journals and journaling, inks, sometimes books, sometimes Frankenstein, sometimes fashion, believe it or not, but mostly fountain pens, inks, journals, and journaling. Occasionally I need my diversions, and you guys are kind enough to allow me. I appreciate that. I am, of course, your humble host, Hemingway Jones, and you are the best and brightest audience in all of YouTube. So welcome and thank you for being here. And a special thanks to the members and the people that show up every week during our little time together to chat, to catch up, to hear what's going on in my fountain pen journey, and also to learn a little bit about yours. And remember, the conversation always continues in the comments. So I do a really good job of staying on top of the comments, which is really fantastic. So hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Have a very interesting show for you this evening. The topic at hand is unacceptable at any price. And this is a sort of riff on something I put up as a short. And I thought I would expand on it, which is always what's fun about the live show. I get to take little things I'm thinking about and kind of expand them to wider kind of ramifications and deeper meaning. So that should be a lot of fun. I also want to talk a bit more about my top 5 favorite fountain pens. I'm smiling and looking off camera because something just fell. And when it's that loud and that chaotic, it has to have something to do with my 9-year-old daughter, whose birthday is this weekend. Imogen turns the big 9. So everyone, we can wish Imogen a happy birthday for her 9th birthday. So excited. And what did she ask for her birthday? As only Imogen could. She asked for 2 things. Not that extravagant, I suppose, but, unique. For dinner, she'd like steak and oysters, as many 9-year-olds do, I suppose. And she wants a shopping trip to Sephora. So you and I would want a shopping trip to Atlas Stationers, but Sephora is what she wants, and that's what she's going to get. So happy birthday to my incredibly dynamic, unbelievably chaotic, confounding, fascinating, lovable, sweet, pure little Imogen, who's getting bigger all the time. So it's going to be an exciting weekend. So yes, I'd like to go into depth a bit more with my top 5 because I recently put up a video last week, in fact, on my most shocking top 5 fountain pens. And yes, I'm aware when I say things that sound a bit like bachelor speak, if you will. Have you ever had any, and I hope maybe you haven't, but have you ever had any experience watching The Bachelor where it's like, coming up, the most exciting rose ceremony yet? And then it's just a typical rose ceremony, So not that exciting. So when I say something like it's the most shocking list I've put up, I do hesitate a little bit because it can lose its meaning. But it really was for me because I threw out my normal parameters except for the one where I restricted it to one brand. And I went deeply into my top 5 fountain pens and talked about them. And I'm going to show a few of them tonight and talk about them a bit more because it's a discovery. Fountain pens are a discovery. And even after obsessing over some of these pens for weeks, for recording with them as I did and putting up multiple videos on them, new things happen and occur and I recontextualize and I'm like, wow, I did not think of it or see that pen in that way. So we'll talk a little bit about that this evening. And thank you for everyone who watched my top 5 favorite fountain pens. I had a blast making that video. I really did. It was just so fun to really dig in and to think about them in a new, fresh light. Like, I had to admit to myself which one was my favorite Mont Blanc, which wasn't what I thought. At least not now, although it changes a lot and it goes back and forth. It's the other thing about top 5 lists, especially favorites. They're very dynamic and they're very much a point in time. So it would maybe be slightly different now. I'm not sure. I need to recognize Michael Raleigh, one of my favorite people. Michael, thank you so much. With a $50 super chat. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday to your daughter. This is for the lights. The lights are burning brightly. Thanks to you, Michael. Thank you. More importantly, for Sephora. You know, Michael, this is very generous and I appreciate the support of the channel and thanks for keeping the lights on. But this will probably defray part of it. The kid loves makeup. She really does. And she loves it so much that it's kind of one of those things where I think I need to support that because she gets a lot of personal expression and satisfaction out of it, Michael. You know what I mean? So you have to sort of nurture your children's interests. You never know where they're going to go. She's very balanced. She likes to make up. She likes to draw. She's been drawing eyes. She's been obsessed with drawing eyes. If I think of it, I'll put one up on my Instagram and show you the progress that she's making. But thank you very much for the super chat. It means a lot, and it helps to keep this place bright. The lights are burning bright tonight, and I have good audio. So I'll tell you a story about that. Last week, I didn't have my microphone. I use a pretty nice mic for the live show and for most of my videos. It's right here. I try to keep it mostly out of sight, but it's not always. But the mic last week just wouldn't work. And there was about a minute and a half of me fiddling around. And I tried my wireless ones and that wouldn't work either. But fortunately, 2 things happened. One is we muddled through the hour. I recovered pretty quickly and I used the microphone in the MacBook Pro and it sounded okay. Once this thing posted, YouTube did its processing and just normalized my volume. So you can hardly notice that I didn't have a decent microphone if you watched a replay. So I was very happy about that. And you can also make some edits after the fact. There was one time when I accidentally showed my address on a live show, and I had to go back and exercise that bit of the video. And similarly, I was able to cut out the minute and a half of me kind of fumbling around trying to get sound. But my wife fixed it. Helen is amazing. I adore Helen. And it just needed a new USB. I have a heavy-duty USB cable now. So I'm also growing my hair out. I didn't even comb it tonight, guys. Wow, it's really weird looking at it reverse ways. But I'm not growing it out like out. Just this, I'm going to do more. And then this side, I'm going to do more. But I'm going to still keep it off my ears. And I don't want, like, skin showing through the back. But I'm getting a cool wave. Can you see the wave? Kind of a cool wave. So, yeah, we're doing the hair. As I near the big 60, I figured I should enjoy my hair while I can. I'll be 59 this May. So, I'm growing up. What can I do? Okay, I need to recognize someone else with a super chat. Thank you very much. And this is Fidel Sanchez, CH, with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you very much. Watching a show from Argentina. Hemingway Jones. Thank you so much, Fidel. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your generosity. Thanks for tuning in from Argentina, which I'd like to go to. I hear that is a fantastic country to visit, that it's really beautiful and safe, and they have fantastic restaurants with steak and really good dancing. So I'd like to go there one day. Fidel, thank you for your generous support. I do appreciate it. And Erwin Hermes, fantastic name, Erwin Hermes, with a 12-pound super chat. Thank you. No message, very subtle, But I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the support and for keeping the channel rolling. I am doing my best, guys, to keep you entertained. A Chiro fake name. My friend, we talk quite a bit. Watching the curling. Yeah, it's curling, right? It's kind of radical for me, to be honest. It's a little weird to have longer hair because I had it so short before. But I just really feel like it's time. I wanted to look a little more relaxed. I felt I looked a little too military. And I wanted to look more academic, even for my professional life. So I thought I would soften my approach a bit. So I see a lot of love for Argentina. Okay, let's show a little pens. You know what? Speaking of pens, have you seen the Visconti Mythos Hades edition? I wish I knew how to put a picture up without ruining my show, but the Visconti Mythos is a really interesting fountain pen. I have one and I like it, but I really like this Hades edition and I feel like I could make a really splendid video on it. So I'm a fan. If anyone has it, let me know. It's going for about $260 US. It's not bad. Steel nib, beautiful body, magnetic cap, beautiful trim, beautiful colors, and the Hades theme is really cool. So if you have it, let me know how you like it. Rick Harsh, one of my favorite people. Hi, Rick. $5 Canadian super chat. Thank you so much. Grow the big boy burger hair. You know, I could, right? If I just grew the top and it would be really short in the sides. But I think I'm going to do kind of like longer here and then just kind of cut it off here and around the ears. It's my barber's problem now, guys. Thank you, Rick, for your support and generosity. I really, really appreciate it. That'll go into the Imogen Sephora Fund. So thank you so much. So yeah, we are going to speak about breaking up with pen brands this evening with you, my best and brightest audience. But I also want to talk pens a bit. I'm going to mention something right now. Let's see if I can get the second camera working. There was an update with Apple, so it's always a little persnickety. But actually, this looks brilliant. Do you see this? This is good. Can I go? No, still can't go close. That's the only thing. But that's okay. We're going to work within our confines. There is one thing I can do, though. Let me see. Oh, no. Oh, that's such a shame. All right, so for next week, is what I'm going to do. I can't reach my magnifying glass, but I do have one. I realize that it's behind the laptop that I'm broadcasting on. I do have this, but I don't know if I could pull that off. No. My regular magnifying glass, though, would work. So then I could show you some details better. Okay. SD Dupont. Defy. Kind of a rare beast. You can see these around, but not usually with this interesting bracket. I was a little bit lukewarm on it when I first got it, and I think that's kind of interesting. I think that's part of a pen journey, right? When you get something and you're like, I'm a little disappointed. That's not what I expected. I thought it was a stripe that was embedded in the barrel. I bought this from Peyton Street Pens, and it was $225. Okay? $225 for a Chinese lacquer and palladium fountain pen. Rather thin, doesn't post, but see if you look at the, I guess if you look at it this way, do you see the stripe? It's kind of hard because of the way it reflects, but it has a spine that runs to the clip, and the clip is a bit raised. The back is flatter, okay? Each edge, though, is raised. So this is a raised edge. This is raised. This one's raised higher than this one. You get that? Okay, I hope I explained that okay. So what makes this interesting, and the thing that I learned, is that you can orient yourself by feel, because this clip has to go to this raised part. So if you keep that in alignment, you always know where your nib is. And the French engineers did such a good job. And you know, many pen companies do not do a good job at this. You guys know that. Where the barrel just sets so exquisite. Look at that. Perfect alignment. Love it. Love it. Perfect. So brilliant. Something else to point out. Really nice heavy metal screws. You see what I'm doing now? I'm looking at a pen that's below me through the screen. And I do that so that we can maintain eye contact. But it does make me a little awkward sometimes. I go to put a cap on or something because I'm not looking at what my hands are doing. I'm looking at it through a screen that's facing a different direction. But these are what you do when you broadcast. So St. Dupont in very nice cursive. Now I do need to look down. I think, yeah, right here says Paris. Very small, very discreet. This nib is really interesting. It's very aggressive, almost like a weapon. Has a bit of that, but it's a little more elegant. It's hard to think of it in pure aggressive sort of terms like that. This isn't a pen that I see necessarily John Wick using, but it's certainly a pen I see Hannibal Lecter using. And he does have one similar, but different. I believe his was blue and no bracketing. But I feel like this is a better choice. I do. So, okay. I'll show you a little bit of writing. I have writer's blood in here. So this is my focal length right here. So writer's blood just suits this, I think. I really do. And part of the conversation this evening, for me, it's like, you have a lot of problems with expensive pens. So why are we chasing after them with such lust, if you will, when you can find something like this for $225? I see a question I want to answer. If you have questions, throw them up. Happy to answer. Can you post it? Oh my Lord, no. It is horrible for posting. You cannot post it. So it's not that kind of pen, but look how long it is. I mean, like if you were to hold it down on the grip, you have a lot of pen. I always hold it up here where the cap snaps on. I like having a lot of apparatus to hold on to anchor my hands. But nope, you can't post it, unfortunately. But you look at this. It's a lot of pen. So $225 for this. It's not a gold nib. It's a steel nib. But if I blindfolded you and had you write with it, I challenge you to pick the gold nib. I just don't think you would have noticed. It's just that good. It's that smooth, that precise. Look at this feed. It's very vintage-like. No apparatus, sleek, curved, elegant. Fits perfectly with the pen. And I guess one of the things, and maybe one of the themes this evening, I saw this at Peyton Street Pens, and I always wanted one of these kind of models just to make that Hannibal Lecter video. And I wasn't sure if I'd actually like the pen or not. And I made that video, I think, in November. I think it was around Christmas time I made it. The other holiday. And I just really fell in love with this. And I wasn't expecting it. On first blush, I was like, it's kind of weird how it tapers so dramatically down, almost like a desk pen. But not so much that it's a Lamy Joy or something. And no offense to Lamy Joy, it just, that really looks like a desk pen. So it has a bit of taper, has an interesting elegance to it, and it just feels like it fits in my world. I've always been partial to black and chrome. I love that colorway. So if you can call chrome a color. And I use chrome liberally. So when I say like it's palladium and chrome is a different material, but I'm speaking as a color. Because if I say silver, silver feels like gray, chrome feels like palladium, shiny. You know, so just follow me with that. I can be a little expansive with some of my language. But an exquisite pen at $225. I love this as much as any montblanc I have, or almost any other pen. I say almost because, you know, there's the Edson. You know, let's not get crazy. But this writes very, very well. It's in that neighborhood. And you can get something like this. You can get something like this for $225. I mean, what a bargain. Thanks, Tony. I do see the thumbs up going up, guys. I do appreciate it. It helps to feed the YouTube algorithms. So, you know, we're going to speak about a lot of different pens this evening, and some of them are known for having some QC issues. Here you have a vintage pen for $225 that you bought at Peyton Street Pens. So Terry's been over it. You know it works. And it's as smooth, as interesting, as elegant, and it's unique. It's yours. Almost no one has this. Some people said, hey, I have that pen. One person in the comments, I love you, whoever you were, said, I've loved this pen for years and I've never seen anyone speak about it. Thank you so much. Well, you're welcome. I wish I had discovered it sooner. But thanks to Hannibal Lecter for drawing me in on this pen. It's just that good. But there's a bigger idea there too, I think. Oh, hey, Obbs, how are you? Obbs is okay with me using the term chrome. Some people get a little pedantic about it, where they're like, it's not chrome, it's palladium. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm talking color, not substance, but I get it. I'm being poetic, so I'm quantifying my terms. But thank you, Obbs. Nice to see you. Always a pleasure. I think the lesson here, or one of the lessons we're going to speak about tonight, is you can make a pen your own. You can find something semi-obscure from the past. We have over 100 years of fountain pens to shop from. You could buy a brand new Montblanc 149. You could buy one 30 years old that's better for less. I would advise you to do the latter. I would advise you to look for things that ignite your passion, your inspiration when you're writing. That maybe ties into a narrative like Hannibal. Some kind of sophistication with edge. Some bigger story. Or maybe you have an idea of this is a beautiful Parisian fountain pen that maybe you can envision a French business person using this on his or her daily routine, going to get coffee in the morning and then heading off to the office and signing large contracts with some brilliant pen like this. And you can kind of get some of that aura about from that to you. That's exciting to me. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't want you to do, because I want you to do whatever you want to do, but it's not to go find another one of these. It's to find whatever version of this is yours. You know what I mean? Like, I found this and it's mine and it reflects me and it reflects that story I told in that video and in my top 5 video. There's a pen out there for you, perhaps. It's probably not this one. It could be another pen we're going to look at in a few minutes, a Schaefer Legacy from 20 years ago. You could make that one yours. But we don't have to feed into this idea that you need to buy every pen an influencer shows you on YouTube or Instagram, or any shiny new pen any pen shop puts up. You can go and find something on your own on eBay or some vintage pen site, Peyton Street or Fountain Pen Hospital, or even Truffet has some great vintage pens. Pen Realm as well, excellent. He had a Hemingway. I wanted it so much, but I can't right now. I've been weird lately. I've been looking for value pens. I only want to spend a few hundred, and get something interesting I can tell a story with. I've been, with my money, I've been putting it into investments for Imogen. That's kind of my thing right now. Just want to make sure she's all set. So, a lot of my life revolves around Imogen. Let's be honest. All right, I've probably spoke about this enough. I don't want to bore you. I see thumbs going up, so I must not be boring you, which is great. I do work hard to keep your attention. And I want to balance tonight with kind of talking about some favorite pens and talking about some problem pens. Let's be frank, okay? And I'm about to show you one. You may have seen it in my hand a second ago. Also, I think I have another favorite. I think if I were to do the list, I have another favorite that I would need to get on that list. And I might do a list where I don't limit myself to one brand. And it might just be Montblanc and Waterman. I don't know. So that could happen. All right, let me show you another pen before you switch channel, which I would hate to see you go. Has anybody ever heard of this pen? I know it's not, you never see it around. This, of course, is the mighty Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age. Kind of a little bit of a problem child, aren't you? Homo sapien. Or sapien. I love people who say Homo sapien. I wish I could say that. But interesting pen. I won't tell the whole story, but I just want to point out a few things. The design is really quite unique. And it's another pen with a lot of sort of, I would put this more in the masculine energy area. Not that I am wholly comfortable with making pens about gender, you know, but I would contrast this with something like the Pilot E95S, which I feel has a certain feminine energy. And by the way, I love both of these pens, so I'm not putting a value judgment by gender, just that I feel that traditionally that's where these lie. So this pen, of course, does have a fantastic rose gold nib when it works, you know, and that's a terrible thing to say about a fountain pen that now costs $920. $920, guys. $920. I just looked it up. I looked it up recently for a video I'm doing, and I almost fell over. And by the way, prices now are kind of reference for me. For one thing, I am not a pen show. I mean, I am a pen show. I'm not a pen shop. I'm not here to sell you pens. So when I put a price up, it's just to make things easier for you. And it's all sort of relative. So I'll give you a really good instance because this is very important. Let me look up the exact name because I often change the name of my videos. But this week I have a new video coming out. And it's called 5 Affordable Gold Nibs That Are All You Need. So it's the top 5 gold nib fountain pens for around $200. And that's the whole video. So you don't need to spend $920 unless you want to. I give you 5 for around $200. Now the problem, there's a little problem. There's always a problem. I recorded it about 2 months ago and some of the prices have gone up. But relatively, they're still incredible bargains, and there's a 2 in front of it still, so that's what matters the most. But you know, just keep that in mind when you watch it, although I'm sure somebody in the comments will remind me that I'm not quoting prices correctly, even though I'm not a store, so forgive me. It's because the price of gold has increased. I asked the CEO. That's awesome. That's funny, and that's exactly what they'd say, which we all know is abject nonsense because there's almost no gold on here. But you know, tariffs have a big impact, and shipping is more expensive. If tariffs are more expensive, even the stuff to ship the stuff becomes more expensive. As a banker, you see how they're very complex economic systems. So One subtle price increase in a key area can balloon everything. So that's a factor. And prices will never go down. That's the thing. Sadly, that's reality. This pen is a problem child. And it's a shame that even now, even all these years later, after identifying this problem years ago, it's still a problem. And that's a problem. That is a problem. Ink Stained Adventures, $2 super chat. Hi, thanks so much. First Grail pen, Homo sapien magma, before the nib change. Oh, you're lucky. That's fantastic. Nice choice. I'd like to have one of those. I might have to keep my eye out. Maybe I could make a good video out of it. So I think for $9.20 on a Visconti, you might want to buy it secondhand. But you better buy it from someone you trust that you can ask them to have a go. But unacceptable. But this is the thing I was talking about before. Let me show this to you too. Okay. In a way, in a weird, twisted Hemingway Jones short sort of way, right? It's entirely unacceptable, but in a way, it makes the good ones more of a grail. Because not only do you have to come up with almost $1,000 of your personal treasure to own one of these, but then you have to wade through the possibility of getting a bad one. And that makes it, in a weird sort of way, more of a grail. Now, there's ways of doing it, very creative ways of doing it. You can ask your pen seller to check it, and most reputable pen sellers will. I know that my friend Brendan Schmidt will. You can call Brendan, ask him to check for you. I know that Goldspot does, so you can ask them as well. So people will do it for you and give you that comfort. Also, and this is the important thing and the thing that I think we miss and we don't do enough. And I see this in forums. I see this in a lot of places. Don't be afraid to exercise your rights under your warranty. Don't be afraid to send it, ship it back, have it fixed. And by the way, if you're out of warranty, send it back anyway. You'd be surprised how many companies want you to still be happy with your pen. I tell a famous story. Maybe you've heard me say it before, but I'll recount it briefly. I have a Watchman Karen. I love it. You've seen it. It's my amber one. I have two, but this is my amber one. Had it in my hand. This was 20 years ago. I was speaking to someone and I turned around and I jammed the nib into the door frame. And I just totally destroyed it. And I was upset. I really liked that pen. I never thought it would be okay again. And I sent it off to France with a little note. In those days, things were much more analog. It went in a box. I probably got the address from the little card that was in it. I still have the box. I keep all my boxes. They're in a giant box in the basement because I have so many. But I put it in a box and I wrote a little note in English. So I'm glad, I guess that was kind of insensitive because it went to France. But I was like, to whom it may concern, please fix my beloved Watchman fountain pen. I love this so much, but I made a big mistake. If there's anything you can do, by the way, and I think I wrote my credit card number on it, if I remember. We did silly things like that in those days. I wrote my credit card number and I said, please charge any charges to this American Express card and ship it back to me. And it was gone for a very long time. I'm impatient, so it was probably a month and a half. And one day it showed up, and it was perfect. And it has been ever since. And they never charged me a dime. Now, I don't remember how long from when I bought it to when I destroyed it had passed. But the point is, I got the feeling that Waterman just wanted me to be happy with my fountain pen, and that they were kind of happy that I was conserving it, that I wasn't just tossing it and buying something new. Although I rather wish I had bought a Waterman Edison at the time. Wouldn't that have been absolutely brilliant? But don't be afraid, ladies and gentlemen, to exercise your rights under your warranties. I hear about issues from a lot of different brands. I don't want to just pick on Visconti. I have been very critical of Montblanc in the last year, and you guys should know, I think you do, I am a huge Montblanc fanboy. I truly am. And in fact, I had a Montblanc on my favorites, and I think I have it with me, and I can show it to you. Yes, I do. Fantastic. I can share it with you. So this is one of my favorite Montblancs. This is the Montblanc 147 in Bordeaux. And by the way, my lighting tonight, I need to give my lighting engineer a raise. I'll use some of the super chat money to pay his salary. I'm just kidding. Of course, I do everything on my channel. But I'm very proud of myself because it's nice when you get the lighting right and it brings out the color. Because it could easily meter with the background. But do you see this very rich Bordeaux color? This pen is from the 1990s. And beautiful. It's like a 146, except it's not a piston fill. It has two cartridges that screw in the back. Where the piston fill knob should be, you feel like it should be there. You unscrew it and slide out two cartridges. In a little gold sleigh. I like to call it a sleigh. I don't know if that's what they call it, but I like it. I don't know if I have ink in this. I feel like I do. Oh yeah, I do. Don't ask me the color because I am not fastidious with my inks. So this one has a mix. Is there two L's in Traveler, guys? I think there's two L's in Traveler. This has a mix of inks. It could be anything from like Den Haag to not Writer's Blood, but Ox Blood, and maybe even a little bit of Montblanc Ruby Red, all mixed together. Because I rarely flush cartridges. When they run out and I'm using red, I just put in more red, whichever red I'm using that day. So it gives me my own expressive ink. To be honest, am I successful? I don't know, guys. It's okay. This color, right? It's kind of like a dull ox blood. Maybe I should clean it out, but I'm just being honest. So this is brilliant, and this is another example. Montblanc just put out a whole bunch of burgundy pens. I don't know how the burgundy compares with the Bordeaux, but I'm going to assume it's similar. This is 30 years old. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. You can get one of these anywhere from like 500 to 7. I would say buy one of these. Forget the new ones. They're too haphazard these days. Their nibs are they have a lot of QC issues now. A lot of skips and starts. My beloved 149 I bought in Paris was great at first, and then it was kind of crappy. And Kirk Spear had to save me at the Atlas Stationer sidewalk sale. I was like, Kirk, can you help me? Can you take a look at this nib? And he's like, sit down. Sure. He's the coolest guy. I want to be him when I grow up. But he took off my pen off me, and he did some things. I recorded it. It's in the video for the Atlas Stationer sidewalk sale. And then he wrote with it. And then he's like, try it. And I was like, it's brilliant now. Thank you. And it's been great ever since. And he said, this is a beautiful pen. They just didn't finish it. They didn't put that final step, that final tune and polish. So, yeah, go vintage. Maybe this is your pen. Maybe this is your signature fountain pen, a 147. Black or Bordeaux? Guess which I'm going with. No, Bordeaux. No, I knew you knew. I knew you knew. Okay, I'm going to show you a pen where I don't believe there are any QC issues of note. This one from the venerable. Ooh, once again, the color. The color. Oh my. Vermilion. Vermilion. Pilot Custom Urushi in vermilion. Wow. I got this in medium. Do I regret that I didn't get the fine medium? Honestly, do I regret it? Yeah, a little bit. I do a little bit. But I would still do it. I would still get a medium. Why? Because I mostly write mediums, and look at that. That's a pretty fine medium. I like the idea of a fine medium. I like the word fine medium. I like that it exists. But I wrote with both of them. I obsessed over it. I almost got the fine medium. The medium is smoother, significantly. The fine has more feedback of the scribey noise type, which I really do like. It's a nice scribing noise. Really good acoustics. I'm trying to write by looking through the screen. Now that is not easy. And also I'm floating in air. But that shows you how well this pen does. That you can like write floating in air. Kind of. Anyway. Not very efficiently. I went off the page. Not bad. Not too shabby. So, yeah, Pilot does a great job. Pilot's a safe bet. If you want to put some of your money toward a Grail pen that you don't have to have regrets, un Grail pen sans regret, go with the Pilot Custom Urushi, or something I'm going to tell you in a minute. David Pearson's my friend. Thank you so much. What do you have for me? A $2 super chat. Thank you. Only buying Montblanc's pre-2017 for now. Too many issues. Agreed, right? Too many issues. You're not wrong, my friend. Thank you for the generous support of the channel, guys. I really appreciate it. So, I brought up about the Pilot Custom Urushi, and I was saying that there was something I wanted to tell you guys. So I am looking for value pens. I'm going to show you a few more. But Pilot Custom 845. Pilot Custom 845. I don't know, guys. I think that's the big pen I'm going to buy this year. Every year I buy at least one statement piece. I think the Pilot Custom 845 is this year's. Does it come in a fine medium? I think it does. Does it though? I think that's the direction I'm going to go in. All right, let's look at a couple more pens. So I was saying that maybe your choice may be a Legacy, a shiny chrome, no, palladium Legacy like this one from circa 2005-ish. What a pen. What a pen that's not writing. But that's okay. It's probably empty. If it's not empty, I'm going to be upset. Well, you can't tell because it's got a solid... It's got a... I'd have to shine it through the light. Yeah, it's empty. These... This is kind of like an Edison. It has a colored converter. Which is kind of fun. Because if you stain it, it doesn't matter. By the way, while I have this open, look at these threads. Isn't that nice? And look at the converter. I mean, converters were so much nicer in the 90s and the early part of this century. If you like having it kind of tinted, it sort of defeats the purpose on this one. On the blue one, you can see through it. On this one, you kind of can't. It also has a nice gasket. So don't blow that gasket. But do you see that? So much nicer than the Lamy 2000. All apologies to Lamy fans. But look how much more elegant that little gasket is. Where you can just go, boop, and you're done. Beautiful pen. So what do I have to mark this up against? This. These guys. These guys, they're going to have a bit of a competition. This is the new legacy. A gift from Brendan Schmidt, my boy, who has a new podcast with his brother. Has anybody seen it? I haven't watched it yet, but I love those guys. So check that out if you haven't. I'm not going to tell you too much about this one because I'm still thinking about it. I'm going to do a video. Also, I finally kind of see how this E is kind of lost, but this E has presence. And I know this isn't my best handwriting, but so I'm trying to write this way. It's really hard. So if you go here and then go over and then around, you can have an E. You know, that's exaggerated a little, but you can have an E with more presence. You got to get the edge just right when you're floating. So, versus just an alternative E. Think about it. You might like it. I've been working on it. So, will this ever be on a top 10 list? I don't know. Maybe. I can't wait to compare it with this. I guess I should put this away if it's empty, because it's not doing me any good. Taking up space in my pen case. I can put my ST Dupont. I have this one in here. Watchmen Expert. Opera Edition. Also a gift from Brendan Schmidt. Which is really nice. Brendan's really nice. I don't take anything for the discount that he gives the channel. So there is HJ10. You can get 10% off your Atlas Stationer's purchases. I don't take anything off of that. I probably should. I probably do better. But Brendan's so cool. What he does is he sends me pens randomly. And that's a good deal. I'm happy with that. I love that kid. He's pure. And his brother Brian's really good people too. And his whole family. Lovely, lovely people. Great company. Love those guys. Tim Doc Harper. How are you? $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's going in the Imogen Fund. Love the snorkel on my PFM. What's PFM? Because snorkel would be a Schaefer, right? But I was thinking PFM was like pilot fine medium, but it must not be. Yeah, I'm a little clueless. I'm sure it's obvious, but you know, there we have it. I see some people watch the pilot podcast, which is super fun. I'm sure it's not as fun as my show, but I'm sure it's fun. I'm just kidding. Oh, speaking of shows, I'm going to be on the Juicy Broads show on Monday. I feel a little guilty saying that. I don't know. Juicy Broads. It just sounds like, I don't know. I don't usually speak like that. So I'm going to have to get comfortable with that. But I'm really excited to chat with them. And I'm literally Lori's neighbor. So we could probably be in studio doing it if we wanted to. So it'll be really exciting. And Vanessa's really cool. So I'm excited. They're very nice people. Very nice to have me on. 199 super chat. Kirk Spear's a genius. He saved my flaw 146. He's fantastic. He literally is. And he's so cool and nice. So thank you. Thank you, Jack, for that super chat, for your generosity. All you guys. Oh, Ichiro's Pen for Men. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I should have known that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yep, and here comes Ink Stained Adventures again. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Pen for Men. Schaefer's Pen for Men. Got it. I was thinking pilot, and I couldn't get my mind out of pilot, which makes sense because pilot's pretty awesome. I want to talk a little bit more about pens, but I also want to do my commercials for my videos that are coming up. And also, if you haven't watched my top 5 fountain pens, favorite fountain pen video, please check that out. And also, why don't you watch The Pen of a Psychopath one more time, because It's freaking awesome, guys. I love that video. I've watched my own video too many times. Most of the time I don't. I just did a video I think you're really going to like. It's in the Journaling Secrets series, and it took me like 2 days to edit it. I am so sick of it. I'm tired of hearing my voice and editing that particular one. I won't watch it again until it comes out. But so I do have to watch them often, or I don't know your questions. I don't know what you're asking me. Okay. So this week's video on Thursday are my top 5 choices of gold nib fountain pens for around $200. So you can call them like your first gold nib or gold nib starter sets, but I don't see it that way, and that's why I'm not parsing it that way at this time. I might change it. I don't know. I feel that these are all you need. Like, these are great pens that you could just be happy with. You put out the 200 and some dollars, you get this, and you're all set for gold nibs. So that's something. I'm excited for that. And then next week is kind of an off week. It's vacation week. I will be here on Tuesday, and the video I put up is, I think you're going to really like it. It's my desk setup. So my desk and how I organize it. I review my desk after having it for a year. Do you believe it's been a year since I got the new desk? So it's kind of a review, how I use it, what's in my drawers. What's in my drawers? That's funny. All that stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy that. That's next week coming up. $5 super chat from Tim Doc Harper. Hello again. Thank you so much. PFM was the legacy was based upon, but snorkel fill. Yes, truly. And I love the snorkel fill. I have a snorkel fill. I rarely show it on the channel, but I do have it, and I do love it. And thank you, Tim, for all your generous support, because you have such a great name, my friend. But sincerely, thank you. Thank you for being here. You are the best. Huge Elvis 2022 $1.99 super chat. Thank you for your next Indian pen purchase. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I do have an Indian pen I didn't show on the channel. I'm trying not to show you the back of my head. It's bad television. So I have this Magna Carta, beautiful pen that Hircon gave me in DC, and then I asked him for a spec sheet on it, and he never sent me anything. I'm not sure what this pen has and what it does, but it's beautiful, and it's been in plastic now for, when did I go to DC Pen Show? Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I don't even remember. I think it was 2 years ago. So it's sitting here. If you could send me what it is, I'd be happy to talk about it. So that needs to happen soon. I do have a couple other pens. I have an Asvine I haven't shown on the channel yet. I also have 2 Ferris wheel press pens. Oh, I can tell you something about Ferris wheel press. I have 2 Ferris wheel press pens, 2 Ferris wheel press inks, Harry Potter themed. I don't know really anything about Harry Potter, but maybe I'll do a video on it. I just don't know. I'm really not into that world. But what do I need to say? Oh, so I talked to Ray Yu. He sent me 2 prototype fountain pens that they're working on at Ferris Wheel Press, because he wanted someone's opinion who he thought would kind of know what the pen community would think and how the pen community would like it. And I was very, very critical of it, maybe a little more critical than I had to be, just to kind of get some things across. But overall, really solid pen, and it's really fun when I get to contribute in the design stage of pens or cases. I was able to get the Quattro lengthened. That was my suggestion, which I'm very, very proud of myself for. I love the Lockbee people. They're very nice. I haven't worked with them in a while, but I'd like to again. Canadian $2 from Discs 2000. Hello. My grails are the MB221 and Pilot Myurix. Great ones. MB221. I have the 22. Yeah. Anyway. Like a Man says, do some careful research on Harry Potter before committing. I don't know if you are referencing the controversy with J.K. Rowling or not. Maybe there's something else. I do know about that because I know stuff that makes it into the New York Times. And I've seen that in the New York Times. But I would do that. I would cover it as I do. If you notice, like when I do Churchill, I cover both sides. I don't dwell on a lot of it, but I cover it. So I just have to see if that's right for me. If that's what you're talking about. But I would like to cover that because I think it's interesting too, to show all stories. But the pens are nice. Oh, I see a lot of love out there for the Himalayas. The V2 that I purchased after HJ sang its praises. Great pen, you guys, and dirt cheap. It is dirt cheap, and it is a great pen. I have mine right here, but I can't reach it. But I would like to. I would like to. So, really good stuff, guys. So this week's video are your top 5 gold nib all fountain pens for around $200. Next week is a desk tour, which is super fun. Can't remember what's after that, but it's something pretty intense. So this is one of my stronger seasons. If I could be a little immodest for a moment. Always like to keep things rolling. I get a lot of pens too that I haven't even opened. Someone sent me this. It's pretty neat. I don't really know what it is. Same with this. The reason why somebody sent this to me, it's very nice. I really appreciate it. But it looks like a lot of work, and I need time for that. I have to set it aside for work. But there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, look. Here's another one. You get a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. Anyway. Wow. Wow. Sister Golden Hair is into the desk tour. I'm so glad. I think you guys will enjoy it. So, wow. I can't believe how fast tonight went. What a journey, huh? We went through it. And I didn't even... I stayed on topic most of the night, which is amazing for me. I'm very proud of myself. Thank you. $5 Canadian super chat from Rick Harch. Thank you. My grail pens are Visconti Homo sapiens Bronze Age, Pelican M1000, and Pilot Custom 823. Those are all solid choices. Solid. Can't criticize. Well done. So, catch my new video this Thursday. I'm sure I'll have some shorts going up too. Thanks so much for watching tonight. I had an absolute blast. I hope you did too. And keep the conversation going in the comments, guys. Always happy to meet you there as well. So thanks so much for watching. I promise we'll see each other very soon further up the road. So take care and have a fantastic night and week. Oh, and happy birthday, Imogen. All right, take care.